그렇죠. 그래서 아우라면서 얼굴 끓이게 또
Very good evening to the participants and respected guests. We'll start in a while, sir. We are just waiting for a few more participants to join.
Not an issue. Please take your time.
Yeah, sir, sure. So a very good evening to everyone present over here. Myself, Himani Gautam, Vice President, District Agriculture, the magazine. So it is my indeed great pleasure and foremost duty to welcome you all in this program. And I welcome you all once again. And Team Just Agriculture is very grateful to our speakers and participants for participating in this unique training program. So now coming to the drones. So as all of us know about the craze of drones in India, like इंडिया में जो एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर है उसमें ड्रोन्स का क्या स्कोप है और ड्रोन्स को कितना पॉपुलर हो रहे हैं, फार्मर से लेके स्टूडेंट तक एवरीबडी is very crazy about drones and they just want to know about the drones. So the passion is like unmatchable, like nothing and anything else. सो ये टेक्नोलॉजी कितनी सफल रहने वाली है उसी का एक एग्जांपल है सर हमारा ये ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम। इस ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम में आपको जान के खुशी होगी 10,000 से भी ज्यादा लोगों ने रजिस्टर किया है। तो कुछ लोग बहुत सारे लोग जो हैं वो भी लाइव जूम के थ्रू और कुछ जो हैं वो यूट्यूब के थ्रू हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं। तो ये टेक्नोलॉजी भारत में एम्प्लॉयमेंट तो इंक्रीज करेगी ही करेगी, साथ ही हमारे देश को एक और सुपर पावर बनने में हेल्प करेगी। ये हमारा एक दृढ़ विश्वास है और इस ट्रेनिंग के थ्रू ये हमारी एक कोशिश है कि हम अपने देश के युवाओं को और उभरते हुए एंटरप्रेन्योर्स को एक मंच प्रदान करें जहां पर वो देश विदेश के एक्सपर्ट्स के साथ बातचीत करें, अपने डाउट्स को क्लियर करें और जो ड्रोन्स को लेके उनके जो भी जो भी उनकी धारणाएं हैं, जो उनके विचार हैं, उनको वो ज्यादा शेयर कर सकें एक्सपर्ट्स के साथ, अपने डाउट्स को पूछ सकें और नए पैशन के साथ और क्लैरिटी के साथ अपने पैशन को फॉलो कर सकें। सो इसी ट्रेनिंग की सीरीज में आगे बढ़ते हुए आज हमारे बीच में है आज के एक्सपर्ट मिस्टर जितेंद्र गौर। ही इज डीजीएम इन धनुका एग्रीटेक Limited. So sir has done BSc Honors Botany from Delhi University, MDP Product Management from IIM Kolkata, and MBA from Institute of Agribusiness Management, MIT University, Noida. So sir is a creative and competent personality with nearly 11 years of experience in product management, sales and marketing, and business development, and demand management, and in distribution, logistic channel management, and in selling team management, and many more. So sir has worked in Dhanuka Agritech Limited in different capacity, like he has worked as a sales officer, product portfolio manager, like chief business manager, and in sales and business development department. So currently sir is working as DGM in new business development. So let me just tell our participants about Dhanuka Agritech Limited in brief. So Dhanuka Agritech Limited is one of the leading pioneer of the agri input industry, and for the last 4 decades this company is serving to Indian agriculture with world-class crop protection solutions that include herbicides, fungicides, and plant growth regulator. So sir, I think you are the best person who can tell our participants about drones, their scope, and their uses in agriculture, and about how we can use the pesticides in drones, and what will be the difference between the spraying through the sprayers and drones. So you will tell our participants best about that. So now, without wasting much time, I would like to invite you to enlighten our participants with your insightful talk. So welcome, sir, and over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. I hope I'm audible to you all, and I believe
Yes, sir.
Imani. So thank you so much, Imani, for the introduction part. And this is my first time for an online interface with the students. Otherwise, I have connected with the students and entrepreneurs as well, but through a physical interface. So kindly bear with me in case, as it is the first time and it's the last presentation for the day as well. So kindly stay connected more and kindly be more awake so that you can get the maximum out of our discussion. So what makes a presentation or any communication effective and interesting is the audience, not the speaker. So I'm relying more on the 131 participants who are connected to me right now. I will stick to English, preferably. In case Hindi is required, I am very much comfortable with that also. So we can talk.
Sir, we have a mixed audience, like we have students. Perfect. Also, and we have audience from all the parts of country and even from abroad. So you can use mix both the languages. So
once it comes about agriculture, Hindi is inevitable. So I do understand that students would like to talk in both the languages, and I will try to communicate in both. So after the brief introduction about me, let me put it straight that Dhanuka has been working with drones since last 3 years. So we had a vision that drone technology will play a crucial and vital role in transforming agriculture in India. और इसीलिए हमने 3 साल पहले धानुका में ये काम शुरू किया कि हम ड्रोन्स को इंडियन एग्रीकल्चर में कैसे इंटीग्रेट कर सकते हैं। आप लोगों ने बहुत सारे स्पीकर से सुना होगा, बहुत सारे स्पीकर से इसके बारे में बात करते हैं, ड्रोन टेक्नोलॉजी, प्रिसिजन फार्मिंग। बट मैं जो बातें आपसे करने वाला हूँ, आवर कम्युनिकेशन फ्रॉम माय साइड वुड बी मोर ऑफ द ग्राउंड लेवल वर्क व्हिच धानुका हैज डन एंड हाउ धानुका हैज ensured that drone as an ecosystem can proliferate in Indian agriculture. So let's talk about how it started. If you go back just 2.5 years, India was a kind of red flag for the drones. And, there were very much, there was very stringent laws that, you cannot fly drone here, there. And there was so much of curiosity around drones, whether it will be misused, and there will be so many things. So we started working in an era of ambiguity. And we started a new department by name Agri Services. And it's a new vertical with Dhanuka, which is led by me. And I have a 12 years of prior experience of working pan-India in different crops, different with all the kind of agrochemicals. And we have worked with various leading chemicals which have really changed farmers' life. So it was a boon for me to kind of introduce such a technology to Indian farmers. And I started working 3 years back. And at that particular moment, the entire industry, the drone industry in India, was more of a startup industry. So we had many startups. I started with a maybe secondary data assessment of the entire industry, how these startups are working, what exactly is going on at the government level. So we started working on these two fronts. And the story started from there. And then we realized that, just by talking around the drones will not help. So as mentioned by Himani, we are truly working as a pioneer for drones in agriculture. And how, let me put it very clear with some data. We assessed the whole industry and we found out that agrochemicals and agriculture, they both can be benefited by drones. So we found a partner, a technology partner, which can make drones of the global level or global quality. And out of the entire industry we assessed, we chose one partner by the name IoTech World Navigation, and we made a significant investment in that partner, which means we were very serious about bringing the drones ahead, the entire ecosystem ahead. Parallelly, we started working with the government, and we had an interface where government formed two committees. And let me mention it that with the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, we have moved significantly ahead from a red zone, from a red flag to the drones to an open environment where today we really can use agricultural drones in commercial operations. So just in the period of 2 years, from a level where we were not able to even fly the drones, today we can commercially use the drones in agriculture. So there has been a significant push and move from the government, where government is visualizing that India can be a global leader in making the country as a drone hub in terms of manufacturing and the associated services. So we made a strong investment and we started working as a strategic partner to that organization. And after that investment, let me give you some more details about the policy part, how government framed different policies to boost up the drones in Indian agriculture. So you must be known, or if not, then let me put it, officially for you, that government has announced subsidies for drone purchase. So central government has already announced it. There is a scheme for SAUs. They can purchase drones with 100% subsidized price. There is a strong push with the banks for AIF to finance the drones purchases. And also, if you will find, if a new entrepreneur goes and tries to purchase a drone, there is a subsidy for that entrepreneur as well. So government ensured that on the one side, they eased the laws. They formed the new laws, which I believe came into the picture in August 2021. And that really gave a smooth and swift movement to the drone industry. On the top of that, the government is also incentivizing with the PLI scheme for drone manufacturers. So whatever the value addition the drone companies are doing, they are getting incentivized for that also. On the top of that, the government has banned Chinese drones imports or any drone import from outside the country until unless it is specified for any particular use by defense or any other particular requirement. So this is what we call a government's framework and push to build, make in India concept or make in India ecosystem. So that's where the government has played a very significant role. They formed two committees, as I mentioned. One was to ensure that the drones are flying as per the DGCA norms. And the second was to ensure that the chemicals are used as per CIB, RC, they were kind of monitoring and forming an SOP where the chemicals can be used as per the policies. So fortunately, I was part of one of the committee. I was member of it. And we really put suggestions to ensure that the drones can be utilized commercially as soon as possible, keeping all the possibilities of pros and cons, everything in mind. And that committee actually framed such a wonderful SOP. It is available online. You guys can check that everything is very clearly defined there. So how the chemical is to be used, what how we are supposed to fly the drones, what should be the height, everything is properly framed in that SOP. So we must appreciate government of India for the efforts they have put in at specifically drones in agriculture, by pulling in some budget also for Kisan drones. So we can see that India, specifically in agriculture, will have a lot of drones potential in the near future. And as mentioned by our honorable civil aviation minister, that we never know that when every village will have one or more drones very soon. So he has that vision with him, with our honorable prime minister. So on one side, we work with the government as a part of the industry to represent ourselves, that how we can commercialize drones as soon as possible. Parallelly, we also tested the technology, which is very crucial. As you might have heard from many speakers in the day, that India is entirely different in terms of topography, geographical conditions, and climatic conditions. So I have been fortunate enough to work in India from north to down south, from east to west. And we also have realized that drones were meant to be tested across the all geographies and topographies. So we started testing drones 1.5 or approximately 2 years back, how the drones will fit into all these different conditions. Now, let me mention, by making that one investment in one technology partner, we ensured that India's first DGCA approved and QCI approved drone is brought in agriculture ecosystem by our partner, which is iTech World Aviation. So as I have mentioned, once you work for a technology seriously, you must have a holistic approach. So with that approval in place, and government giving permission for 90% of India as a green zone, where we can really fly the drones, do the commercial sprays. And parallelly, the other committee which I mentioned, because of the interaction with the committee, they also approved use of approximately 400 odd insecticides and fungicides for commercial usage for 2 years. So it was very much supported by the government to test all the chemicals, including all those that list of fungicides and insecticides, and they allowed the green zones as well, so that we could fly the drone. So what Dhanuka did, we made a team, we purchased few drones, we made a team of trained pilots. So let me put it in your knowledge, that for flying a drone, you need to have a certificate, or we call it license. So from any authorized institution, you must have a certified course of becoming a trained pilot for flying an agriculture drone. And once you have that certification in place, you can legally fly the drone. So what the drone I have mentioned right now, which is made by iTech World Aviation, the name of the drone is Agribot. That can be flown legally in any green zone in India with a certified license. Any pilot who has a certified license, the person can fly that. So with that, we tested this technology in different crops, let it be paddy, tomato, chili, cotton, maybe down south we tested in chili, cotton, even in black gram, sugarcane in India. So we tested among the various crops, vegetable crops, and we ensured that there were many questions in the mind, whether the drone will really fit into this ecosystem, or if it will fit, then will it put any kind of negative impact on the crop? Will there be a crop breakage by the thrust created by the drone? There were so many questions. So stepwise, we understood and tested the technology in various crops. What we could figure out after research of more than a year and a half, drone, and you can take my word on this, drone technology is fit, safe, and suitable for Indian agriculture and all the crops I mentioned. So I have tested it personally on different crops at even critical stages. Let's talk about flowering stage in chili, tomato. We can also talk about, probably post panicle initiation, milk formation, and all those stages after the grain maturity in paddy. We have tested this technology on various pests with the current formulations. So you would be glad to know that whatever the formulations or most of the Dhanuka products we have tested with the drone technology are compatible and delivering equal or better results than the conventional spray practices. Now, what is happening here? We are talking about a disruption in terms of timings, in terms of water volume, in terms of bioefficacy. And let me mention it how. So what we are talking here is we are talking about 7 minutes to cover 1 acre. It's surprisingly lower than what farmers are doing now with the conventional practice. Maybe 1 hour, maybe 1.5 hours. That's what they are doing, and with just 10 liters of water volume. So with the current dosage, whatever the dose is registered with CIB and approved by CIB, we are able to deliver either similar or superior results in just 10 liters of water volume in actual farmer fields. And I have done the testing in Haryana, Punjab, across the South region also. I have conducted these trials, so vast and broad in the entire country that we can firmly say now that this technology will stay in India. And this is, I'm talking about only the spray services. We are still working on precision farming. Precision farming is yet to be tested. And trust me, with integration of precision farming to this, because I'm working on two types of precision farming. One is ground-based sensor technology, which is IoT-based. And the second is usage of, multispectral and hyperspectral cameras, and to ensure that we deliver the desired result to the farmers by promoting the judicious use of pesticides. See, we Dhanuka, we are pesticide manufacturers, and we take proud in saying that we are a responsible one. So we are working on the precision farming in a way that my drone will be able to sense which portion of the crop is under stress by disease or pest, and my drone will be only spraying in surroundings of that particular affected area to ensure that we can promote the right usage of the pesticides, so that we can also take care of the food safety and the crop safety as well. Because we strongly believe that integrated pest management is the sustainable approach, and that's where we are bringing in new technologies like drones, like precision agriculture, like biologicals also. So I have worked on biologicals as well. So we are bringing in all the newer technologies to make the entire agriculture ecosystem sustainable and safe as well for all the stakeholders. So for example, once anybody was spraying any agrochemical, there was always the concern whether the person will have some health hazards or some safety issues. With drones, the spray operator is absolutely safe. I have touched almost more than 6,500 farmers directly and indirectly in my projects across India in last 1.5 years. And trust me, the kind of results we have seen, the kind of terrains we could have explored, right? Let me talk about sugarcane. If you guys know that there's a new disease in sugarcane by the name of polka boing. And this disease appears when the sugarcane has crossed the age of 60 to 70 DAT. So now the point is, at that particular stage, the farmer cannot enter into the field and do the spray part. So drone is a solution. And we have really had overwhelming response by the farmers. किसानों ने हमारा बहुत स्वागत किया कि सर आप शुगर केन में ऐसी टेक्नोलॉजी लेकर आ गए, आप ऑर्चर्ड्स में टेक्नोलॉजी बहुत पॉपुलर हो रही है, होने वाली है। एक सवाल है कि मैं अभी जो दूसरे स्पीकर है उनको सुन रहा था कि छोटे किसान को क्या प्रिसिजन फार्मिंग हेल्प कर सकता है या उसको जरूरत है। ट्रस्ट मी, इट कैन डू मिरेकल, एंड इट कैन डू एट अ वेरी अफोर्डेबल प्राइस। So that's the other aspect I would like to add today before I close my conversation, and then I'll open up for the questions as well. So when drone comes as a business, let me tell you that it is a viable business proposition. Let me share with you that a person, a local entrepreneur, if somebody is there who is willing to start drone business, that person can have a profitability of more than 100, maybe 200%. And whatever I'm claiming, I can establish that because I worked on that for last 1.5 years. So commercially also, we have tested the drone in various crops, and there is an overwhelming response from the farmers. But yes, we still have to educate farmers more. Still, we have to show more results to the farmers so that they can believe in. Because farmers, my friends, they are, we call them annadatas of India, and we test any and every technology prior handing it over to the farmers rigorously, so that farmers should not be bearing any kind of loss because of the flaw in technology or any part. Rather, he should be benefited at every aspect, or rather at every step of using or incepting that technology to the current ecosystem. So my key message to the listeners today would be, today in India, Dhanuka has worked holistically to really develop the drone ecosystem. In next 2 to 3 years, you will see very major steps to be taken by Dhanuka for developing drones across the country. You will find it flying across the country. Government of India is very supportive. We are very serious in terms of promoting newer technologies. So we have already funded 2 startups. One is drone based and the second one is IoT based. And drone means a superior technology, lesser time consumption, safer for usage, higher bioefficacy, higher yield possibly also. And with the integration of precision farming, it will become a boon for Indian farmers. And whatever I have said, specifically the last 6 sentences, you can take my word on it because there is a rigorous work behind it. So this was all from my side for the day. Now I'm open up for questions. Any questions you want to ask, you can. And sorry, we missed the Hindi part. So you can ask the questions in Hindi, I'll answer in Hindi. Thank you, Imani. Over to you.
थैंक यू सर एंड आई थिंक आप जो है ड्रोन में सबसे ज्यादा एक्सपर्ट हैं यहाँ पे, तो इट विल बी गुड कि अगर हम एक इंटरेक्टिव सेशन रखें अब नाउ. तो सर आई जस्ट वांट द पार्टिसिपेंट्स टू ड्रॉप देयर क्वेरीज इन चैट बॉक्स, और दे कैन आल्सो रेज देयर हैंड सो दैट वी कैन अनम्यूट देम एंड दे कैन इंटरेक्ट विद सर. सो सर, जब तक पार्टिसिपेंट्स आपसे क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं तब तक मैं कुछ प्रीवियस पार्टिसिपेंट्स के क्वेश्चन और कुछ क्वेश्चन जो मेरी तरफ से हैं वो भी आपसे पूछना चाहती हूँ. यस सर. तो सर जैसे कि हम पेस्टिसाइड जब हम नॉर्मली स्प्रे करते हैं, तो सर देयर आर चांसेस कि हम जो फार्मर है वो लाइक एक्सटेंसिवली यूज करता है, मतलब कोई डोज का ध्यान नहीं रखते हैं, कोई भी पेस्टिसाइड किसी भी पेस्ट के अगेंस्ट यूज करते हैं, तो चांसेस जो हैं पेस्टिसाइड रेजिस्टेंस के वो बहुत ज्यादा हैं. इवन बहुत ज्यादा केसेस रिपोर्टेड भी हैं पेस्टिसाइड रेजिस्टेंस के. तो क्या ड्रोन्स को यूज करके वी कैन डिले द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ पेस्टिसाइड रेजिस्टेंस?
I think a wonderful question, and let me talk on 2 aspects. One would be the bioefficacy, and the second would be resistance. So the first is bioefficacy. When farmer is advised to use pesticides with his conventional practices, we generally request farmers to use 120 liters to 200 liters of water volume for getting the best results out of any product which is we are recommending to the farmer. But the problem is arrangement of 120 to 200 liters of clean water itself is a problem for the farmer. He doesn't realize it. Few of them, yes, they do realize. Few of them do not, but that is one part. So because of which the bioefficacy gets affected for the product. Now, when we use drone, we just simply use 10 liters of water volume. So when we use 10 liters of water volume, it is really possible to arrange that 10 liters of water volume for 1 acre. This is one part. And second is when you are mixing the entire dose in 10 liters of water volume, there is a very less chance for errors of doing underdose or overdosing, because those are the major reasons behind developing resistance. Farmers generally, if they use lesser water, sometimes they reduce the dose. So in case they use it, some extra water, then maybe the dose may go high. AI can go high, which is not required per acre. So that may be one reason. So by using drones, that part definitely will be impacted, and we will be able to take care of at least using our pesticides responsibly. So yes, it would be effective at that.
सर वन अनदर थिंग, जैसे कि ड्रोन्स के साथ हम जो है एक स्पेसिफिक पार्ट पे अगर हमने जैसे पैच में हम पेस्टिसाइड को मैनेज कर सकते हैं, स्प्रे कर सकते हैं, लाइक हमने पूरी फील्ड में इन्फेस्टेशन नहीं है, कहीं कहीं इन्फेस्टेशन है, तो हम स्पॉट पे स्प्रे करके प्रोटेक्ट कर सकते हैं। लेकिन कुछ पेस्ट हमारे होते हैं, लाइक हमारे जेसिड्स होते हैं, जो मतलब बहुत फास्ट मूव करते हैं, तो चांसेस नहीं है कि हम एक स्पॉट पे स्प्रे कर देंगे और वो पेस्ट जो है वो दूसरे एरिया में मूव कर जाएगा, मतलब तो
yes, well, I think it's a very, very nice question, and let me put one example here. So I was testing drone in hopper BPH. So I think one of the most notorious pests in northern India and southern part of India as well in paddy. So jacids, maybe it's more or less equivalent in terms of population and the way they reproduce and the way they affect the crop. I'll say BPH is more notorious. So when we fly a drone over the crop, it creates a thrust. And when it creates a thrust, half population of the BPH was impacted by that thrust, and it was it could not hold the paddy crop. It was forced to get down in the field, where it died immediately because of just falling from the crop. So that thrust itself, if it is rightly applied to the crop, it works as a killer by itself. On the top of that, it opens up the crop canopy as well. So the penetration is very much deep inside the crop. And when we talk about precision farming, we're not talking about mapping 3 plants getting affected by jacid or aphid, and then we spray those 3 plants. We will come up with the help of agronomy and algorithms, we'll come up with a technology where we'll be covering that entire patch, and we will ensure the killing percentage is high. So because we don't want these pests to drift and move to another place and then just create the infestation. We don't want that. So in the case of BPH, and I'm quoting it, by my own experience, we tested in the trials that on the 3rd or 4th day, there was no, the population was reduced significantly more than 95%. Which is not possible in conventional practices by use of any chemical today. So this technology has its own advantage. Yes, it is under evolution as of now. So there will be a lot of questions around it, that how precision farming would be integrated. But what I can assure you is we will integrate it so efficiently that farmer will be getting benefited in terms of cost, as well as using it effectively in the management of pests as well.
और सर इसी क्वेश्चन से मैं एक और क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहती हूँ, जैसे कि हम एंटोमोलॉजी पढ़ते हैं या पेस्ट मैनेजमेंट पढ़ते हैं, तो हम पढ़ते हैं कि वी डोंट वांट टू कंट्रोल द पेस्ट, वी वांट टू मैनेज द पेस्ट। लाइक एक सर्टेन पॉपुलेशन जो है वो फील्ड में होनी चाहिए, ताकि उसका जो नेचुरल एनिमी है वो भी सर्वाइव कर सके इन लॉन्ग रन, ताकि हम रेजिस्टेंस को भी डिले कर सकें। तो सर जैसे कि आपने बोला कि जब हम ड्रोन यूज करेंगे तो हमारा जो कंट्रोल है वो इंक्रीज हो जाएगा, अप टू 95% कंट्रोल हो जाएगा। सर हम जस्ट मैनेज करना चाहते हैं, हम पूरे 100% या 99% पॉपुलेशन को किल नहीं करना चाहते हैं, तो हाउ इट विल बी फिजिबल?
So see, Himani, I have worked for 12 years, met lakhs of farmers. So this management part, yes, technically, scientifically, yes, we want to do that, and nature always finds a way for everybody to survive. So I'll quote you one example. We brought in a chemical for controlling a weed by name cypress, which is the most tough weed in sugarcane and maize. So people used to think, okay, you spray Dhanuka Sempra for 3 years consecutively and the population will be almost out. But it doesn't happen. So by means of 95% killing is, I'm talking about on the basis of the sample size I tested. So it is but obvious that every technology, once it is used frequently, the pest also creates a mechanism by which it can evade, and make its way out for survival. So I
तो
think we
वही है
should.
ना सर, फिर रेजिस्टेंस डेवलपमेंट के चांसेस तो इंक्रीज हो जाएंगे ना सर.
So resistance development, see, I like to put it in a way. Using drone is itself is an integration. There is a physical force putting the BPH down or jessets down, making them, more. I mean, killing them more. So there's no resistance to the force. I mean, I don't know whether they'll grow up the wings more wide or what they'll do. So there is a physical killing. And then on the top of that, we are opening up the canopy. We are putting the insecticide deep inside, the crop canopy. So that will actually help in killing efficiently. So overall killing will not come by excessive dose or excessive use of pesticide. It will be kind of integration of a mechanical force and the pesticides use. So resistance cannot be developed against a force of drone's thrust. I don't think it's possible. So don't worry on that part. But I do believe it will give a relief or a sigh of relief to the farmers who are really getting affected in terms of black thrips in Chile, in South India. It's happening as of now. It happened last year also. So there people are not talking about management, because just because of this, I am not against anyone, but just because of this management concept, our innocent farmer has been kind of provided by a few products which are not up to the mark on the name of biologicals or some different things. So there are so many things, duplicacy in the products. There are so many reasons for these resistance. And I think drone technology will help in breaking that resistance rather.
Yes, sir. Sir, as we are the plant doctors, we are the plant protectionists. So, our community, we have someone who is working on biological control, someone who is working on apiculture, someone who is working with pesticides. So, हमारी ही जो कम्युनिटी है, हमारे ही जो एंटोमोलॉजिस्ट हैं, उनमें से ही मतलब इस जो केमिकल्स का यूज है या हमारे ड्रोन्स का यूज है, उस पे एक कंट्रोवर्सी सी शुरू हो जाती है, एक डिस्कशन डिबेट सी शुरू हो जाती है कि अगर आप पहले स्प्रे करते हो, उससे हमारे नेचुरल एनिमीज किल हो रहे हैं, हमारी जो पॉलिनेटर्स हैं वो किल हो रहे हैं. तो सिर्फ ड्रोन्स के साथ भी लोगों के यही क्वेश्चंस आ रहे हैं कि अगर हम ड्रोन्स के साथ इस तरह से स्प्रे करेंगे तो जो हमारे नेचुरल एनिमीज हैं उनका क्या होगा, या हमारे पॉलिनेटर्स हैं, हनी बीज हैं, सिर्फिड फ्लाइज हैं, या हमारे बम्बल बीज हैं, उनका मतलब उनके साथ क्या इसका रिलेशनशिप रहेगा?
Well, the international data what we have as of now, what we have studied in China, in Japan, this technology has grown many folds, and it is an integrated part of agriculture today. And these countries, Japan, that's one of the most advanced countries, and they have been able to do it successfully. So I hope we will be able to do it as well. Now, the point it's the problem comes when people try to compare drone spray with the aerial spray. When people used to spray with helicopters or maybe aeroplanes, and there were so many birds killed and all other things. What we are talking is a similar practice which farmer is using as of now. We are just spraying from a height of 3 meters above the crop canopy. My drone can spray even at the height of 1 meter from the crop canopy or the ground. It's so efficient. So my point is that please ask the students, please ask the people who are raising the doubts to understand that drone technology is just not an open aerial spray. It is pretty much controlled. And there are norms and guidelines that if the wind velocity is above than a defined limit, we should not go for the spray with the drone. And any spray you do with a spray pump, a tractor's mounted sprayer, anything, I think the drone is spraying more effectively than that, but it is not creating any kind of pollution in the atmosphere. So we have to realize that part, that we are just spraying from a height of 2 to 3 meters above the crop canopy. We are not spraying anything in air. And the thrust on the drops is so high that they simply come down on the plant. On the top of that, we are also working on different kind of nozzles technology. We do have some global partners in that also, to ensure that my drone is spraying these fine, super fine drops or magical drops on the target weed, pest, or maybe the crop only. So please, I will request all those I'll call it imagination, or I'll call it previous experience what people had with aerial sprays, to give some time to the technology to understand it more. And I do believe it will be safe for the environment. So it's not going to be any harmful aspect, or if it would be, we are strong technically, will be able to take care of it.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, Chandan Mishra, somebody has unmuted. Yeah.
So
Ask-
meanwhile, I have two questions which I am getting here.
Hello.
What is the minimum requirement of hi, hello?
हेलो सर,
Yes.
मैं चंद्रशेखर बोल रहा हूँ बिहार से।
बोलिए मिश्रा जी।
हाँ सर, हम ये जब से ड्रोन का ट्रेनिंग ले रहे हैं, इंफॉर्मेशन मिल रही है, हम लोगों के यहाँ बिहार में जो पुराने मैंगो ट्री है, उसमें जो पेस्टिसाइड का जो छिड़काव किया जाता है वो आजकल बहुत डिफिकल्ट हो गई है, लेबर नहीं मिल रहे हैं और उसका प्रॉपर ट्रीटमेंट भी नहीं हो पा रही है। तो फर्स्ट टाइम हम एग्रीकल्चर स्टूडेंट नहीं हैं, हम एज ए प्रोग्राम मैनेजर हैं और मशरूम कंट्रीब्यूशन पे काम कर रहे हैं। लेकिन हम 3-4 साल से अपने गांव में जब जाते हैं तो बहुत फेस कर रहे हैं उस ट्री सब का। सखुआ सागवान का पेड़ लगाते हैं, उसमें कीड़ा लग जाता है, तो उतना हाइट पर कोई जा करके उसमें केमिकल या पेस्टिसाइड का छिड़काव नहीं कर पाते हैं। तो ये बहुत बड़ा एक हमको अपॉर्चुनिटी मिल रही है। और हमारे बिहार साइड में मधुबनी जिला में स्नेक्स वगैरह की वो बहुत बाइट्स होते हैं जब गेहूं या ईख का जो खेती होता है उस समय उसका किसान लोग जो उपयोग करते हैं। तो आपका ट्रेनिंग, ये 3 डेज ट्रेनिंग सेशन में हमने बहुत कुछ सीखा है। हमको बस एक चीज समझना है, क्या इसका कितने हाइट तक ये जा सकती है, और इसमें केमिकल का जो नॉर्मल जो है सो इसका किस तरह से उसमें सेट होता है? क्या नॉर्मल जो केमिकल मिलता है उस पैकेट का ही यूज होता है कि उसके लिए स्पेशल कोई पैकेट्स आते हैं जो उसमें फिट होंगे? तो हमारा कंफ्यूजन है कि उसमें केमिकल कैसे सेट होगा, उसका केमिकल जो नॉर्मल बाजार में मिलती है वही होगा कि फिर कुछ अलग से उसके लिए हमको बाहर से लाना पड़ेगा? ट्रेनिंग, आपकी ट्रेनिंग यदि हम उसका उपयोग करते हैं तो।
राइट,
थैंक यू सर।
थैंक यू मिश्रा जी फॉर आस्किंग क्वेश्चंस। एंड मैं थोड़ा सा आपको बता दूं, मेरा बिहार का डायरेक्ट एक्सपोजर रहा है। मैं बिहार में मुजफ्फरपुर से लेकर और मालदा तक मेरा टेरिटरी रहा है। मैंने वहाँ 1 साल एज अ सेल्स हेड काम किया है धानुका के लिए। सो आपका पॉइंट वैलिड है। वहां पर कुछ क्रॉप्स जैसे मेज, शुगर केन, मैंगो, जितना भी मालदा तक मैंगो लगता है, सब में ड्रोन का इफेक्टिव यूज होने वाला है। सो फर्स्ट वी टॉक अबाउट हाइट के मामले में जो धानुका का ड्रोन है, एग्रीबॉट है, वो फ्रैंकली नारियल के पेड़ को भी स्प्रे कर सकता है। मैंने भी चेन्नई में, मेरा एक इवेंट था देयर, व्हाट आई डिड, मैंने चेन्नई में नारियल के पेड़ पे अपने डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स को एक स्प्रे करके उनको दिखाया कि ड्रोन कैन टेक अप एनी हाइट व्हाट वी वांट, बट जनरली 60 फीट से ज्यादा ऊपर जाना गवर्नमेंट अलाउ नहीं करती है। सो लेट्स नॉट टॉक एनीथिंग अबव दैट, बट मेरा ड्रोन केपेबल है उस हाइट तक स्प्रे करने के लिए, जो मैंगो ऑर्चर्ड्स या बेबी अ कोकोनट ट्री। सो फर्स्ट थिंग इट कैन डू, यस। Number 2 is yes, the same chemicals will be used. So don't worry about the chemicals. As of now, the government of India has approved same chemicals, same formulations and the same dose as well. तो dose, chemical formulation सभी same रहने वाला है। और 10 लीटर पानी में हम फील्ड क्रॉप्स में इसको कर रहे हैं। नाउ सिर्फ मैंगो में जो मेरा टेस्ट करना बाकी है, जो एसओपीज मैं क्रिएट कर रहा हूँ हमारी R&D टीम के साथ, कि कितना पानी एग्जैक्टली आपको लगेगा और कितने पानी में आपको टोटल सॉल्यूशन उस डोज को डाइल्यूट करना है। फॉर एग्जांपल अगर कोई दवा मे बी 1 लीटर प्रति एकड़ में आपके जितने ट्रीज हैं उसके हिसाब से जाती है, बिकॉज जनरली यहाँ पर लीटर ऑफ वाटर डोज चलता है बिहार में मैंगो के केस में। तो वो डोज हमें फिक्स करना पानी के साथ बाकी है। द मोमेंट वी विल बी फिक्सिंग इट, हम आपके यहाँ बिल्कुल ऑपरेशन स्टार्ट करेंगे तो उस डोज और उस वाटर वॉल्यूम के साथ आप तक आएंगे। सो जो अनसुलझा पार्ट है, जो अभी आंसर्ड नहीं है, वो सिर्फ इतना है कि मैंगो में टोटल वाटर वॉल्यूम हमारा क्या रहेगा। डोज जो आज रिकमेंडेड है, डोज वही रहने वाली है। मैं आपको बता दूं, वैसे इस फोरम पे ये बोलना ठीक नहीं है, भविष्य में ड्रोन के उपयोग से पेस्टिसाइड का डोज घट सकता है अगर साइंटिफिकली और प्रिसिजन फार्मिंग के साथ यूज किया जाए तो। सो डोंट वरी ऑन दैट। तो थोड़ा समय दीजिए, डोज यही रहेगी, प्रोडक्ट की फॉर्मुलेशन यही रहेगी, सिर्फ वाटर वॉल्यूम के साथ उसका रिलेशन बनाना बाकी है। हिमानी, कुछ क्वेश्चंस मेरे पास चैट बॉक्स में है, लेट मी आंसर देम सो दैट वी कैन मूव। सो चैट बॉक्स में मुझे कुछ क्वेरीज हैं, जैसे impact of concentration of pesticides compared with conventional applications. So don't worry about that part. Yes, in 10 liters of water volume, it will be a hyper concentrated solution, but the drops are approximately 8 to 9 times finer than what the drop size in regular conventional practices what we spray. And we have tested more than 90% of the portfolio of Dhanuka products, and those are found safe for using with drone in 10 liter of water volume. So don't worry about the phytotoxicity. And let me mention this also, that Government of India has advised us to create data generation. So we are working with various universities, developing that data on phytotoxicity, and we will be submitting it to CIBRC, and Dhanuka is getting maximum of 10 products approved within a year or so for drone usage. So that approval is required. We are creating that data, and my friend, don't worry, it will be safe. The second question which I have from Renu Sahu, what is the minimum requirement of land for a drone in agriculture? So Ms. Sahu, I can assure you we can spray in 100 meters also, 200 meters also. There should not be a power line of those big wires and those things, and any tree should not be there, because we have to fly it manually otherwise. And those power lines we have to avoid because of the electromagnetic interference. Otherwise, I can spray the smallest size you can imagine. There's no problem with that. In case of we are talking about spraying, cost will add, which will add the cost of cultivation. So my friend, I can assure you it will just merely add some cost to the cost of cultivation. But always remember, when I launched a product 10 years back in Dhanuka for paddy and chili farmers, basmati and chili growers, that product was very premium. And farmers told, sir, this is very costly. So I gave them a demo of 1 acre, and I showed them the difference over the other products they were using. There was a significant improvement in yield of maybe a few quintals, and the quality as well. The product's name is Luster. You can go and probably have a checker on the internet, and maybe you can coordinate with farmers. So by adding merely some amount to the cost of cultivation, what we are doing, in sugarcane, farmer cannot even spray. So we are giving him an opportunity where he will be able to save his crop or probably get the higher yields and superior quality. So that mere cost of cultivation's addition will be justified by the value delivery we will be able to provide to the farmers. Now, drone possible for vegetables, pretty much possible for vegetables. We have tested on vegetables like chili, paddy, chili, tomato. We have also tested in grapes. And I think in vegetables, cucurbits also we have covered. And in coal crops also we have tested. So pretty much okay for vegetables. In fact, it will be more suitable for vegetables because it provides an excellent crop canopy coverage. Please name some institutes, and for pilot training, you can contact me. You can ask for my number from Himani. I'll not only give you a name, probably Dhanuka will support you in providing the training and everything. Just contact us. There's no need to worry about that part. And how to buy drone use for agriculture use. So this is a question from Abhay Kumar Mishra. Mishra ji, you can purchase a drone by contacting us also. But what I would like to mention here is only buy DGCA approved drone, because every drone has to have a UIN, like a registration number for a car. Every drone has to get insured like a private vehicle or any commercial vehicle. Please do not buy a drone which is not DGCA approved or not approved by QCI, because Once you buy something which is not DGCA approved, which is not legal, you can get into a legal suit anytime. So don't do that. And you can contact Himani and maybe us for buying a DGCA approved drone. Maybe Himani has my number, or you guys can contact me. Not today, tomorrow, anytime in the day, I'll be able to support you guys. Not an
Good
issue.
evening,
Please.
sir.
Yes, sir. Please tell me.
Sir, I am from team Just Agriculture and जैसे कि हमारी कोलैबोरेशन है अभी आपके साथ होने जा रही है, तो बहुत सारे पार्टिसिपेंट्स की पिछले 3-4 दिन से क्वेरीज थी. लॉट ऑफ पीपल इंटरेस्टेड फॉर द ऑफलाइन ड्रोन ट्रेनिंग. So as we are planning for the offline training around Delhi NCR, so when we can expect, means audience का ज़्यादातर यही था कि न्यू ईयर में एक्सपेक्ट करें या दिसंबर में कुछ प्लान है ऐसा कि 7 to 10 days या 15 days. और एक दो चीज़ें और वो क्वेरीज हैं उनकी जनरल, लाइक ये बेसिक लेवल की ट्रेनिंग होती है या प्रो या एडवांस किस लेवल की ट्रेनिंग होगी, प्लस इस ट्रेनिंग का क्या बेनिफिट रहेगा अगर वो आगे जाके को पायलट या पायलट का कोई DGCA अप्रूव्ड कुछ लाइक प्रोग्राम करते हैं या लाइसेंस अप्लाई करते हैं, या वो क्या प्रोसेस है कि हम DGCA का लाइसेंस अप्रूव्ड को पायलट बन सके, या धनुका क्या ऐसा कुछ प्रोवाइड करता है प्रोग्राम कि हम डायरेक्टली लाइसेंस्ड पायलट बन जाएं. सो ऐसे कुछ क्वेरीज थी, आप एक थोड़ा इसको जनरल सारी क्वेरीज सॉर्ट आउट कर दीजिए.
Okay, let me answer it in a way that see, मैं ड्रोन्स के बारे में आपको 2-4 चीजें बता देता हूँ. इट इज अ वेरी मच emerging फील्ड अक्रॉस द ग्लोब. अगर आप पिछले साल का डेटा उठाएंगे तो ग्लोबली $14 billion, $14 billion का, if I'm correct with the number, kindly check it, ग्लोबल इन्वेस्टमेंट हुआ है. And flying drones will be something next big thing in India also. So yes, it is a career which people can look up to. This is part one. Part two, now drones in agriculture. It requires an agri pilot. It does not require just a pilot, a person who comes from any background and he'll fly a drone. And when a person like you who is a student of agriculture, he will start a drone business or fly a drone, there will be two different things, because you will understand it more than any general pilot. He's going to be as good as a spray guy, which is may not be the right person for spraying in agriculture. So you would be a better person and more suitable person for spraying in agriculture. And now let's talk about the certification and licensing part. As of now, we do have an agreement with an FTO, or we call it RPTU as well, by the name Drone Destination. So what Dhanuka can provide to you right now is maybe a training course which is comprised of approximately 7 days, let's say, because I'm a certified drone pilot. So that certification allows you to fly a drone across India in any green zone, a medium-sized drone, a small-sized drone, up to small-sized drone legally. So which means that you can get the course done with the help of Dhanuka today. I'll not commit it, but yes, we do have some plans to initiate some certification courses in near future. So yes, we are working on that as well. And in terms of the course content, what Mr. I don't know, I just missed the name, what sir mentioned right now. So it is very important when you choose
sir, yeah.
Yeah,
sir,
please go ahead.
Sir has asked that participants ने पूछा था कि हाँ जी सर पार्टिसिपेंट्स ने पूछा था कि जो ट्रेनिंग होगी वो बेसिक होगी या एडवांस लेवल की होगी, प्रो होगी, मतलब उसमें क्या क्या चीजें सिखाई जाएंगी.
राइट, सो उस ट्रेनिंग की जिसकी मैं सर्टिफिकेशन की बात कर रहा हूँ, उसमें दे विल बेसिकली गिव यू ट्रेनिंग ऑन हाउ अ ड्रोन वर्क्स, व्हाट टाइप्स ऑफ ड्रोन्स आर देयर, what are the basic usage of drone, how to make a drone, basically how you can create the circuit of the drone. Also they will tell you how to fly a drone. So it will be some 3 or 4 days at the campus as well, where you will be flying drones physically as well. And we will also you'll be able to get the direct exposure for flying hours as well. And then you will come out as a person who can legally fly a drone. So in terms of the course, first, what sir mentioned for 10 to 14 days, what he mentioned. So certification for drone flying is just 7 days thing. There you get the basic training, the online training for 2 days probably, and 3 to 4 days at the campus. So it's almost a week. You understand drones, you learn, and then you appear in an exam also, which you have to clear. This exam is run by DGCA. So if you don't clear the exam, you don't get the certificate. No certificate, the money is gone. So It is something very serious. So you have to look it up very seriously, but I will consider it as a basic training only. There's a cost attached to it for sure. And then when we talk about the 14 to 15 days course, what you do with just agriculture, if I'm correct. So when you choose a career or when you choose an industry to go ahead and business, it is pretty much important to understand how it works. So by getting connected to that 14-15 days program, if it is so with just agriculture, you will be able to understand all the detailed insights of the drone usage in agriculture, which is very much important, because it took 1.5 to 2 years for me to understand and execute how these things will do. And we have to summarize it in a week or so for you, so that you can confidently go for the decision making. It is very important, because at this stage of your career, if you do not take a right decision, it may not be very much fruitful, because the initial part of the career has to be pretty much in line with the emerging sectors. So I must say that yes, it is one of them. There has been global investment. There has been global success stories also in Japan and China, and we are merely trying to create one of our own in India. So yes, it will be helpful. Any further questions, Himani, or then we'll email ID and contact number. I think you can get my
our
email.
team will provide.
Yeah, so my team, Himani and the team will be able to provide, and you can contact Dhanuka also, just in case. So I do have a dedicated team which will take care of your query. Yes, ma'am, please.
Sir, do you provide training for the college students, as in I am in JD Goenka University?
Right.
So I want to know whether you provide the training programs and for a university purpose. I like my School of Agricultural Science is asking for some suggestions. So I would like to know whether you will provide us or not on the university basis.
Okay, so I may not be able to answer it right now, but you can contact me and we can discuss what sort of programs you're opting for. So then probably it can be discussed. But, frankly, at this forum, I may not be able to answer. Definitely, it's not a no. It's not going to be a no for sure. But we can see how it can be defined and worked out. I hope I could answer your question.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Imani, any more questions?
Yeah, sir. Anup Kumar has raised hand, and I just request him to unmute and ask his question.
Anup, to your question.
Okay, sir. तो जब तक ये क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं, let me just ask you one or two questions. Sir, हम actually पिछले 4 दिनों से ये ट्रेनिंग कर रहे हैं. Today is the 5th day. तो बहुत सारे बेसिक क्वेश्चन हैं जो आते हैं पार्टिसिपेंट्स के. तो जैसे आप मतलब इसी इंडस्ट्री में काम कर रहे हो, लाइक पेस्टिसाइड्स एंड ड्रोन्स, एंड यू आर एक्सपर्ट, लाइक यू आर सर्टिफाइड पायलट. सो आई थिंक आप बेटर आंसर कर पाएंगे इन क्वेश्चंस का. तो पार्टिसिपेंट्स के क्वेश्चन थे, जैसे हमारे पास कुछ पेस्ट होते हैं, बहुत नोटोरियस पेस्ट होते हैं, जो रूट जोन में अटैक करते हैं, लाइक हमारे कटवर्म्स हैं, या हमारे एप्पल में रूट बोरर होता है सर, बहुत ज्यादा नोटोरियस पेस्ट है. हमारे शुगर केन में कई बार रूट सॉइल इनहेबिटिंग पेस्ट होते हैं. तो ड्रोन में तो हम एरियल स्प्रे करेंगे. तो ये बहुत बेसिक क्वेश्चन है पार्टिसिपेंट्स का, कि वो हमारे जो पेस्ट है जो सॉइल जोन में कर रहा है इनफेक्ट हमारे प्लांट को, उसको कैसे कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं हम थ्रू ड्रोन्स.
Wow, wonderful. You guys have decided to make me stuck somewhere. Okay, fine. Let me accept that, yes, we have not tested the technology on those pests as of now. But 2 facts. 1, my drone can fly at the height of, I said, maybe 1 meter above the ground. This is 1. So, and we are kind of creating expertise with nozzles as well. So what we are talking about, applying the pesticide from a height of 1 meter from the crop canopy with a thrust and a solution which is hyper concentrated. So if we look scientifically, it should be possible. As of now, I cannot commit to you that it will be possible, but scientifically it should be possible at the initial stage of crop. But as of now, we have not tested.
Yes, sir. Sir, I think it will also depend upon the mode of action of the pesticide, right?
Agree.
Like
Fully agree.
whether the pest, yeah.
Fully agree, because ultimately the pesticide has to reach to the pest, either by, if it is a systemic pesticide or a contact, ultimately it has to reach to the pest, which is important. So mode of action and site of action, these two factors always play a scientifically critical role in the pest management. So yes, we cannot put it aside, but understanding the fact that the drone can fly at 1 meter of the height means it will be able to kind of forcefully through the pesticide solution, which is hyper concentrated in the upper layer of the soil. So generally where these pests are. So I do believe it should be controlling that with my prior expertise and experience. But yes, until unless tested, I'll not be able to comment it. Frankly,
Yes, sir.
I'm not the guy who goes by, beating around the bush. So no, scientifically, it would be possible. Hopefully, let's try it. Maybe few trials and we'll be able to tell you.
यस सर सर अनदर बेसिक क्वेश्चन जो हमारे पास आया था, क्वेश्चन था कि जैसे पेस्टिसाइड, जैसे हमारे बहुत सारे स्टिकिंग पेस्ट होते हैं वो अंडर द लीफ फीड करते हैं,
Right.
तो लाइक एफिड, जेसिड, हॉपर्स, वो सारे अंडर द लीफ फीड करते हैं, तो उनको कैसे कंट्रोल करेंगे?
Exactly. I mean, that's the question which we also had while we started testing the products. So, majority of the pesticides, which are the newer chemistry, they do have translaminar action. So, by meaning of translaminar action, you guys can understand if spread on the upper part of the crop canopy, it will simply percolate in the lower part of the leaf and it will control the pest. Some act as a fumigant also, so by which the pest generation can be controlled. As I mentioned, the drone creates a forceful thrust, which actually catapults, not the right word, catapult would not be the scientifically correct word, but it kind of unfolds the crop canopy. By doing that unfolding, we actually expose the different surfaces of the crop. So if I fly it on a sugar cane, or if I fly on a grapes crop, the entire canopy gets disturbed. And then there is the kind of superfine drops coming towards the crop canopy. So yes, it is reaching to the lower surface of the leaves as well. Simultaneously, yes, we have to scientifically be smart to use which chemicals will have the translaminar action and percolate scientifically and probably towards the lower side of the leaf lamina and provide the best control. So it will be, do not just get see, I'll like to tell you in a way that we have a pesticide industry of 35,000 CR approximately, and even if looking at the treatment percentage, I think we have hardly treated let's say one third of the country's entire available acreage. So if we in the terms of business and in the terms of adding value to farmers, even if we work with the best suitable pesticides with the drone technology, the size of the business and the benefit to the Indian farmer community, it's magnificent. I mean, you will not be able to understand or estimate how much value we will be delivering to Indian farmers and what kind of business it can create. So let me quote a number here. If a drone is utilized in an optimum way, it can create a business of not less than 15 to 12 to 15 lakhs per drone in the worst of the scenario, with a profitability of minimum 50%. So you can understand the size of the business, the profitability in business, and ultimately the value delivery to the farmer. I'm talking about one snake bite taking life of the farmer, and I'm also talking about a person flying the drone outside the field, simply covering the acreages. The drone is safely bringing back to the landing site and ultimately delivering a higher bioefficacy. So please look at the positive aspects of the technology, and it is not because I'm working on drones. It is because we have countries which have really done some success stories, and we simply should take precautions, obviously, but push the technology further, where let the farmer be the judge. Let's not create more of doubts and hunches around this technology. I would rather suggest that you guys come, call me, I'll make you meet hundreds of farmers, they will say, okay, sir, no, we need it. This is absolutely perfect. So please understand, in that spirit, we should take the drone technology in India as of now, until something is proven otherwise.
यस सर. सर एक और क्वेश्चन है मेरी तरफ से. जैसे कि हमें पता है हमारी मतलब अभी रिसेंट कुछ ईयर्स में हमारे देश में ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग, नेचुरल फार्मिंग, जीरो बजट फार्मिंग, सब चीजों को बहुत ज्यादा प्रमोट किया जा रहा है और इवन इनके लिए बजट्स भी एलोकेट हो रहे हैं. तो पहले जो एग्रीकल्चर में बजट था वो इस तरह से डिवाइडेड नहीं था. लाइक हमारी पेस्टिसाइड इंडस्ट्री को ज्यादा बजट मिलता था. इवन जो गवर्नमेंट स्पॉन्सर डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर जो है हमारा मिनिस्ट्री जो है एग्रीकल्चर की, उसके थ्रू काफी सारे प्रोजेक्ट्स को बजट मिलता था, काफी हाई बजट मिलता था, जिसके थ्रू वो पेस्टिसाइड्स पे डाटा जनरेट करते थे या मॉनिटरिंग करते थे पेस्टिसाइड्स की, रेजिड्यूज की, एवरीथिंग वो करते थे. और उसका जो डाटा था सुपरवाइज फील्ड ट्रायल का, वो अभी भी जैसे जाता है CIBRC को, जो हमारी डोज वगैरह फिक्स होती है उन सब चीजों के लिए. तो जैसे कि बजट हमारा सब कम हो रहा है हमारी पेस्टिसाइड इंडस्ट्री के लिए, एवरीथिंग, और सब चीजें जो हैं वो मतलब डिवाइड हो रही है. लाइक कुछ नेचुरल फार्मिंग की तरफ जा रहा है, कुछ ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग की तरफ जा रहा है. तो हाउ वी कैन सी लाइक ड्रोन्स के थ्रू हम पेस्टिसाइड ही अल्टीमेटली स्प्रे करने वाले हैं, या हम फर्टिलाइजर स्प्रे करने वाले हैं, हम ऑर्गेनिक में कम जाते हुए हम कन्वेंशनल में ज्यादा रहने वाले हैं ड्रोन्स के थ्रू. तो कैसे, मतलब किस तरीके से हमारी जो गवर्नमेंट है इस चीज को सपोर्ट करेगी, ड्रोन्स को कैसे बजट मिलेगा, कैसे फंड्स मिलेंगे, कैसे प्रोजेक्ट्स आएंगे हमारे पास, हम कैसे अपना डाटा जनरेट करेंगे सर, अगर हमारे पास प्रोजेक्ट्स नहीं होंगे सरकारी यूनिवर्सिटीज में या हमारे जो भी सेंटर हैं जो काम कर रहे हैं पेस्टिसाइड पे, तो हम किस तरह से डाटा जनरेट करके मिनिस्ट्री को देंगे या फिर CIBRC को देंगे?
All right, so let me put it in a way that in India, I'm a firm believer of agriculture has been contributing consistently and significantly towards India's GDP. So please, let's understand it's a serious profession for a country. So it is our responsibility to understand that we have to keep it ongoing and it has to be profitable. When people talk about organic, during my MBA, organic was one of my subjects, very close to my heart, and I'm working on biologicals as well today. Recently, I had exposure to biologicals also. So let me put it very straight. Pesticides are not going anywhere so easily, or biologicals are not substituting pesticides immediately. It's not happening. India as a smart country, we are a growing economy. We have to feed our growing population, and we also have to feed the world in near future. So what we have to do, and what Dhanuka is probably taking the path right now, is we are trying to integrate various technologies, the available greener chemistries and pesticides. So slowly and steadily, we are also phasing out the red triangle pesticides, which are not friendly for food safety or which are not suitable for integrated pest management. So we are slowly phasing them out. We are pushing in biologicals as well. So we have launched biological pesticides very recently, let's say 15 days back, or not even 15 days. Yeah, 15 days back in Chennai. And we are bringing in biological pesticides for Indian farmers. So we are talking about integration of pesticides, biological pesticides, and then latest technologies. So another technology I'm working on right now is sensor-based, ground-based sensors, where we take on moisture, we take on wind velocity, we take the data of the leaf wetness, and we also take the soil sample testing, we also take the petiole test, and we are recommending farmer how much irrigation to be given, when not to give an irrigation, how much fertilizer to be provided to which field specifically, what could be the customized fertilizer the crop will require, when the farmer should spray for pesticide, in how many days in advance he should expect that the disease is about to come, and the humidity and the temperature is kind of working as indicator with the leaf wetness that the disease will prevail in the next 7 days. So I should start spraying at the ETL level. So it is all about integrating all these technologies, including pesticides, biotechnology, precision farming, and creating an ecosystem where this agriculture remains profitable. So it is not about whether pesticides, will have, will we have enough budget for the pesticides or not. I mean, it would be surprising, or many of you might know it, that for researching a new pesticide, it takes approximately, maybe 7 odd years, 5 to 7 years, and then a funding of minimum 2000 CR. While searching a biological is just 1/4 of it. So this data you might not have. So my point is that it is not about, shifting completely towards biologicals. In future, maybe 2050, yes, we may think of that, but not today. So let's work on creating an ecosystem where we integrate all these technologies to produce the food which is safe, to use all the pesticides or whatsoever chemicals we are using judiciously. Let's utilize the emerging nanotechnology. So let me put ULVs. ULVs will be very, very ultra low volume chemicals coming to India pretty soon, where you might have to spray 10 liter, 10 ml of a pesticide in entire acre. So how would you do it? How about 7 tanks, 1.5 ml per tank? It's not going to work. So it will be more of drone friendly. So we are talking about Dhanuka's approaches to integrate all these technologies and bring in a sustainable solution for Indian farmers so that his agriculture remains profitable. And that is the key. That is what we should work for.
Yes, sir. Sir, another thing which I just want to ask, that many pests are nocturnal, they feed during nights, and drones are functional during daytime. So how we can just manage these pests?
So legally, it is a big no. I'll not make any comment, will not fly in night. But I'll give you a case where this Tidi Dal attack happened in Rajasthan a few years back. So trust me, we have flown the drones in the night on the trees and we killed them there only. So, but legally we are not allowed for it. It was a special permission by the government. It was a government's project where we flew the drones in the night. Because generally these insects or pests, they rest on a tree. So we used to spray over the whole tree in the night. We have done it. We can do it, but until legally proven, we will not do it.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Let me just check if we have any other question from the participants in the chat box. Yeah.
I'm getting a question about fruit borer pest management. Don't worry, if sprayed at the right stage, it is very much effective on the fruit borer as well. We have tested in brinjal and we have tested in other crops as well. It is pretty much effective. And moreover, we will come up with a SOP for every crop, pest specific and stage specific. So you need not to worry on these parts. Once we will see, we have already given 2.5 years to this technology, and we have not even charged a single penny to Indian farmer. No, we are investing. So I'll take 1 more year. I don't mind that. My organization is pretty much supportive for creating those SOPs and then bringing it in for Indian agriculture. So we are looking for something which is a precise solution. Because see, if we charge for something, it is our responsibility to deliver that much value or more than expected value to Indian farmer. So don't worry on that part. We will be coming with standard operating procedures for every crop and stage and pest specific solution. So that will be taken care of. So
Yes,
you have to understand that we are evolving. There's no playbook which is already written. There is no rule book which has been written for drones usage. We are working it together. So you are working in universities. I'm working with the lovely professional university. We are testing there. I have worked with PAU, HAU, Maharana Pratap Horticulture Universities. And trust me, the results are motivating. So I have been associated with these universities across my entire journey for launch of pesticides and launch of drones as well. So Dhanuka has been the leader in that. We were the one who could sense that this is about to happen. And just to build up more confidence of yours, Adani and Ambani are also there in the drone ecosystem. So don't worry, it's going to stay.
Yeah, sir. Thank you, sir, for answering all the questions. Because मैं भी एक entomologist हूँ. I am from entomology background. I have done PhD in entomology and I have worked on pesticides in my MSc and PhD also. So that was the reason मैंने आपसे इतने ज़्यादा question पूछे जो भी मेरी queries थी. I just wanted to clarify them.
In my next session, I'll not like Himani to be there. She's been a tough host today. Just on the lighter side. Thank you, Imani, for asking valid questions.
Sir, one last question.
Yeah,
I just
please go
want-
ahead. Please go
Yes,
ahead.
Sir, as I have worked with the pesticide and I know about the CIBRC, like how a pesticide get approved and what are the criteria. So I have heard like अभी तक कोई SOPs नहीं है, अभी तक कोई पॉलिसी मतलब अभी तक फ्रेम होके हमारे पास नहीं आई है. तो मैंने ये सुना था कि जो CIBRC है, अभी जब से हमारे यूनिवर्सिटीज में टेस्टिंग होगी या कंपनीज जो भी अपने टेस्ट कराएंगे, लाइक स्पॉन्सर ट्रायल्स जो भी होंगे, उसके बाद जो हमारे ड्रोन्स हैं उनको यूज करने के लिए फॉर्मुलेशन भी अलग होगी और उनके मतलब नोजल का तो आपने बता ही दिया कि नोजल भी अलग होगी, फॉर्मुलेशन भी अलग होगी, लाइक एवरीथिंग विल बी डिफरेंट. लाइक पेस्टिसाइड्स हमारे वही रहेंगे, लाइक डायामाइड्स है, नया ग्रुप है और दे आर लाइक सेफ फॉर पेस्टिसाइड, लाइक आज की डेट में वो सबसे सेफ माने जा रहे हैं. तो मतलब जो भी है फॉर्मुलेशन, डोज, सब कुछ चेंज हो जाएगा. तो उस बारे में आप थोड़ा बताएंगे तो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगेगा.
All right. So let me tell you how I foresee the entire process. Okay. Yes, initially there was nothing. So once the government of India formed two committees, one was with CIBRC, Mr. Agriculture Minister, Mr. Narendra Tomar, he actually initiated and kind of launched those SOPs as well. So now there are standard SOPs for using drones for a list of 400 odd pesticides, which includes insecticides and fungicides. Okay, so there is SOP for usage of drone. Point number one. So let me answer it in a stepwise way. So yes, there are SOPs today. Point number one. Point number two, you can use drones for commercial application for 440. I think that's the number of insecticides and fungicides, no weedicides as of now. Commercially. Point number two. Point number three, all the biostimulants and biological products can be used with drone spray application. There is no problem about it. My drone can also broadcast urea or spray the nano urea also. So that is another aspect. Let me add to it for the business part. Now let's talk about the formulations. As of now, the government of India has given us 2 years to generate data with various universities for phytotoxicity. Whether the same formulation which we are using today in 10 liters of water volume, will it give a phytotoxicity on a particular crop? Yes, no, or whatsoever. That data is already getting generated and the approvals will be provided within a period of 1 year. You can take my word on that. So I'll be coming to you maybe within 6 months or 8 months with a list of products. Okay, these products we are approved to spray with the drone as a label expansion. So it is just a label expansion kind of thing. So we are testing phytotoxicity with various universities in different agroclimatic zones. Already it is under process and we have paid some handsome amount for it. So don't worry, that is happening. And the future is of ULVs. This is what I understand personally. Let me say that there will be so now let me quote one thing. One of my weedicide, which is known as Sempra, used to control cypress in sugarcane and maize, it is registered for a dose of 36 grams per acre. So you can understand just 3.6 grams per tank if we use 10 tanks of 15 liters, the knapsack sprayer. So you can understand the future formulations will be coming in ultra low volume. So I'll ask you, okay, 5 ml of this product is enough. I am testing one biological which has a dose of 2 ml per acre and it is a root promoter. So I'm testing one biological product, right now. So please understand, this is my understanding about the formulation part, that as of now, they will approve whatever is ongoing. And the ongoing approval is required because we have to start it commercially. We cannot keep on investing money and getting no returns because the drone industry will be at stake. We will survive because we are selling pesticides and biological pesticides also. But for them, it is very important. So government has given an immediate approval on the basis of their knowledge, on the basis of their current exposure to the drone technology and the international data as well. So future formulations will be ULVs, nanotechnology based formulations, which will be drone friendly. So this is how the process should go.
तो सर अभी जो आपके ट्रायल्स लग रहे हैं जैसे रिसर्च ट्रायल्स यूनिवर्सिटीज में या मल्टी लोकेशनल जो ट्रायल्स लग रहे हैं उसमें जो आप डोजेस जो आप लाइक फाइंड कर रहे हो, वो डोजेस आप कौन सी यूज कर रहे हो, लाइक जो अभी रिकमेंडेड है या उससे
Yes.
डबल या उससे 1.5,
Yes.
मतलब कौन सी डोजेस पे काम कर रहे हैं?
So if my let me quote one of my product cluster which is registered for use in paddy at 384 ml per acre. So I'm testing it at 384 ml per acre in 10 liters of water volume. Government is saying 10 to 15, whatever you're comfortable with. So I'm getting the best results in 10 liters of water volume, and the government is concerned about phytotoxicity more. As some of the student he mentioned, sir, whether it will be a hyper concentrated solutions, so any negative impact on the crop. So government has the same concern. So I believe we are right now testing the products at the same dose. In the
जनरली जब हम फाइटोटॉक्सिसिटी या स्पेसिफिकली बायोएफिकेसी जब हम टेस्ट करते हैं किसी पेस्टिसाइड की, तो हम एक हमारा स्टैंडर्ड डोज होता है, एक हम डबल या 1.5 टाइम्स डोज लेते हैं, और एक हम लेस देन सिंगल डोज लेते हैं, लाइक लेस देन रिकमेंडेड डोज लेते हैं. तो ड्रोन्स के केस में भी हम सेम कर रहे हैं.
I believe we are going by the standard procedures which are defined by CIBRC, because right now they have asked us to create the data within 6 months. So yes, all the standard, whatever the norms and guidelines CIBRC has already put in framework, we are following all of that, and we are ensuring that it is done at various agroclimatic zones as well, so that we can also understand the impact of the changing weather. So yes, we are testing it at various doses, and we are also making sure that not only the university trials, we are doing in-house trials as well for double of the dose, or maybe somewhere we are doing so many experiments, because we have our own R&D farm which was recently inaugurated by Chief Minister of Haryana. So we are testing it thoroughly, and we will make sure by the time I come today, I have not made any recommendation to use any of the Dhanuka product using drone, but the moment I'll say it, I should have a lot of weightage from the internal data generated as well as the university trials, so that my farmers or my end user is getting the desired value out of the product he's buying and paying for.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for answering all the questions very nicely. Thank you, sir. It was a very interactive and very informative session for the participants and for me as well. So I just want to thank you on the behalf of Team Just Agriculture, our participants, and on my personal behalf for taking out your precious time for this training session. So thank you, sir. Thank you so much, and have a great evening.
Thank you, Himani. Thank you, Just Agriculture, and specifically thank you for all the participants for bearing me for kind of 45 minutes to 1 hour. Thank you for asking questions. It was a pleasure indeed talking to you all. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. So thank you, participants. For the next session, we will join tomorrow on the same platform. So till then, have a great evening. So thank you all.